She was one of the first celebrities to face an eating disorder during a time when this misunderstood phenomenon brought public shame and humiliation. The duo, formed by siblings Richard and Karen Carpenter, was on top of the world in the early 70s with a series of pop hits like Close to You, We've Only Just Begun, and Rainy Days and Mondays.
Every shing-a-ling-a-ling, that there's something to sing. So
that is why all the girls in town do but frown. Rainy days and Mondays always get.
it's all that I found ever since you've been around.
However, behind closed doors, Karen's pursuit of perfection left her with low self-esteem, a troubled love life, and a public struggle with anorexia nervosa, resulting in her untimely death at 32. Today, we'll delve into the personal life of this great artist. If you enjoy today's content, don't forget to share this video and leave a like. At 15, Karen Carpenter was already showcasing her musical talent by playing the drums in her school band and drawing inspiration from renowned jazz drummers. By 19, she and her brother Richard, a keyboard prodigy, signed with A&M Records in 1969. They shot to stardom in 1970 with the award-winning song Close to You, marking not just the start of their fame, but also the worsening of Karen's anorexia. With the duo's success, she was pressured to leave the drums and become the lead vocalist, heightening her concern about her appearance. She disliked how she looked in stage outfits, leading her to drastically lose weight. Initially, Karen hired a personal trainer but disliked how gaining muscle made her feel heavier, so she decided to lose weight on her own. She exercised, counted calories, and planned her meals. In a short period, she lost around 20 pounds. Karen's concern with her weight began after graduating high school when she started the first of many diets. She was never obese but felt chubby. At 17, she weighed around 145 pounds at 5'4" tall. Despite compliments from friends and family on her new look, Karen wanted to lose more weight. She started avoiding food completely, and soon, this issue began affecting her music. During the day, she wore baggy tops, and at night, revealing dresses that showed her skeletal frame. The audience was shocked to see her so thin. By 1975, her deteriorating health could no longer be ignored. She was mentally and physically exhausted. The Carpenters were forced to cancel their European and Japanese tours after Karen collapsed on stage during a show in Las Vegas. She ended up hospitalized and underwent 5 days of tests. Under her mother, Agnes's strict supervision, Karen slept 14 to 16 hours a day, and her weight increased from 88 to 104 pounds. For the next 5 years, she continued battling anorexia and bulimia nervosa. Meanwhile, her brother Richard fought an addiction to Quaaludes, a medication prescribed for conditions like insomnia and anxiety. During this difficult period, Karen took the opportunity to record an ambitious solo album, beginning to discover her autonomy as a woman. Despite initial support from record executives, they rejected the album, fearing the financial risk her new direction could pose. This decision devastated her. She was starting to break free from the constraints that limited her art, but was not yet entirely free. In June 1980, after her failed attempt to launch a solo career, Karen announced her engagement to a real estate developer named Tom Burris. He was 39, attractive, charming, and seemed generous. 2 months later, he told Karen he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her, and they announced they would marry in August. A few days before the wedding rehearsal, Tom revealed he had a vasectomy before meeting her. Karen felt betrayed. He offered to reverse the procedure, but the chances of having children would be significantly reduced. She decided to cancel the wedding and called her mother in tears, who responded insensitively. "The invitations have been sent. Reporters and photographers are coming. People magazine will be there. The wedding will happen and you will walk down the aisle. You made your bed, Karen, and now you have to lie in it." Most of Karen's families and friends thought Tom's lifestyle and wealth were comparable to hers. He seemed like a millionaire because of the expensive cars and other assets he had, but the truth was, he didn't have the financial resources to even buy a wedding ring. It didn't take long after the marriage for him to start asking Karen for money. He would request $35,000 to $50,000 at a time. Eventually, all she had left were stocks and bonds. Karen had doubts about her husband, not just regarding his finances, but also his feelings for her. He was impatient and could be cruel. Despite this, Karen's desire to be a mother was strong. When she told Tom she wanted to have a baby and start a family, he reacted like a brute, refusing to consider having children with her and calling her a bag of bones. This marriage was undoubtedly devastating for Karen, and in November 1981, she filed for divorce. After her marriage ended, Karen began a recovery journey in January 1982. Cherry O'Neill, a singer who had overcome anorexia, suggested she see the doctor who helped her. But Karen chose Stephen Levenkron, a psychotherapist specializing in eating disorders. Karen arrived at Stephen Levenkron's office in New York, weighing only 77 pounds. She admitted to taking a large number of laxatives at night and 10 thyroid pills a day despite having a normal thyroid. Levenkron confiscated the pills, realizing she was using them to speed up her metabolism. Karen started a new exercise routine, walking 2 miles to and from her sessions. However, despite appearances, she wasn't fully committed to making real changes that would lead to progress. After several months of sessions, Levenkron suspected she had relapsed. He then invited her parents and brother Richard for a family therapy session. They were all scared of the stigma around mental illness and the need for therapy. Karen's mother, Agnes, thought she was just being fussy, and all she needed to do was eat. Over the years, they had tried every approach to convince her to eat well. Richard said in 1993 that everyone around her did everything they could, but it obviously wasn't working. During the meeting, Karen cried uncontrollably and apologized for ruining everyone's lives. Levenkron advised the family that she needed a type of love with more physical affection. Richard showed this love unreservedly, but Agnes couldn't show affection and explained that she liked being called Mrs. Carpenter, avoiding direct address to her daughter. This situation led Karen to distance herself from her family, and it is now believed that her anorexia was partly caused by her difficult relationship with Agnes, who showed more affection for Richard. Unfortunately, she didn't realize the severity of her daughter's illness. In September 1982, Karen, not showing progress and weighing less than 84 pounds, reported extreme dehydration symptoms to Levenkron. She was admitted to Lenox Hill Hospital to begin hyperalimentation. During surgery to insert a catheter, one of her lungs was accidentally punctured. As the organ healed, Karen responded to artificial feeding, quickly gaining over 11 pounds. Solid food was reintroduced, and she continued to gain weight. Despite her progress, Richard was shocked to see her still very thin when he visited her in October. In November 1982, Karen was eating 3 meals a day in the hospital and trying to stay positive about the weight gain. She visited Stephen Levenkron for the last time on November 16th and gave him a farewell gift. Her parents met her that day to take her home to Downey, California. Karen ate well on Thanksgiving to her family's delight, and in the weeks following her return to Los Angeles, she went back to shopping and socializing as usual. Despite her high spirits, she was taking more naps than usual and sometimes went to bed as early as 7 in the evening. On the morning of February 4th, 1983, Karen woke up and went down to the kitchen. When the coffee was ready, Agnes called the upstairs phone, but no one answered. Entering the room, she found Karen motionless, naked, lying face down on the closet floor. Her eyes were open, but rolled back. She was lying straight and didn't seem to have fallen. She had just laid down on the floor, and that was it, recalled Agnes. When paramedics were called, they found Karen's heart was beating only once every 10 seconds. She was declared dead 20 minutes after arriving at the nearest hospital. The autopsy report listed the cause of death as emetine cardiotoxicity due to or as a consequence of anorexia nervosa, revealing that Karen had poisoned herself with ipecac syrup. This medicine is commonly used to induce vomiting, especially in cases of poisoning. It would have helped her maintain her weight, but at a price because ipecac also corrodes the heart muscles. In 60 days, she accidentally killed herself. Karen Carpenter's death at 32 increased awareness of the dangers of eating disorders, which were little known or understood at the time. She is often cited as the first celebrity to die from an eating disorder. 2 years after her death, doctors and therapists specializing in eating disorders pressured a federal agency in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to ban the over-the-counter sale of ipecac, and several public figures, such as Princess Diana, shared their own struggles with anorexia and bulimia. Many have questioned why Karen developed anorexia. Rumors suggested she grew up with a controlling mother, and that her brother controlled the duo's trajectory. Karen started restricting her eating habits because it was the only thing she could control. Despite the speculations, the motivations remained known only to her. But what many recognized after her death was that Karen Carpenter was a talented singer who left too soon. Paul McCartney declared that she had the best female voice in the world, melodic, in tune, and distinctive. Unfortunately, when Karen looked in the mirror, that's not what she saw.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more. Thanks for watching!